Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to United Way for Southeastern Michigan's virtual town hall on Discovering Your Spark, out-of-school programs for youth. My name is Audrey Walker, and I will be your moderator for today's town hall. Today, we will hear from United Way's Community Impact Officer, Tanya Adair, and then Sara Plachta Elliott will provide information on out-of-school programs. The last 10 minutes of today's town hall are reserved for questions. Please leave your questions in the Q&A box if you are watching on Zoom or in the comment box on Facebook. Now, I'd like to give a warm welcome to United Way's Community Impact Officer, Tanya Adair.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly virtual town hall, where our goal is really to bring you the information and resources you need. We know that education is a crucial building block for a successful future, especially now as COVID-19 has made it difficult for families to ensure their children are receiving the education and social development they need. With so much uncertainty about what school will look like in the fall, we wanted to bring you information and resources about our out-of-school programs for your children. Today, we are grateful to have Sara Plachta Elliott, Executive Director of Youth Development Resource Center, join us to share information about opportunities for our children. Before I hand it over to Sara, I want to share a little bit of information about her. Sara began her career working in after-school and summer programs, youth mentoring, and neighborhood development organizations in Kalamazoo and Ypsilanti. She then focused her career on community-based participatory evaluation and capacity building. Sara has a master's degree and a doctorate in social policy from Brandeis University that is focused on children, youth, and families. Her social work and evaluation experience have centered on positive youth development, caregiving, mental health, child and family policy, and philanthropy. Sara is the founding executive director of isYDRC and is responsible for leading the vision, development, and management of the organization. Please join me in welcoming the amazing Sara Plachta Elliott, Executive Director of the Youth Development Resource Center, to speak with us today. Sara, thank you so much for joining us.
Tanya, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure for the Youth Development Resource Center to partner with United Way for over 3 years to bring our region this resource that is called Discover Your Spark. So I'm going to talk through what it is and how it can help families identify out-of-school time learning opportunities that are a great fit for your child. So Discover Your Spark is a promotion of the United Way for Southeastern Michigan and the Youth Development Resource Center to highlight the importance of summer and after-school opportunities available to families and children in Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties. We launched Discover Your Spark together in 2018. It was called Summer Spark, and it was to address learning loss, also known as the summer slide. So we wanted to elevate what we know from research, which tells us that children forget the things that they've learned during the school year, or they get rusty on their skills, such as reading and math. But the good news is that summer programs are shown to help prevent that sort of slide, even fun programs that aren't summer school, so to speak, but they're shown to help. So basically keeping your kids engaged in some type of learning through the summer. It doesn't need to be academic, but that can really help them to be prepared to go back into the school year. In 2019, United Way, with support from the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation and isYDRC, expanded Summer Spark to become Discover Your Spark. We added after-school program information, and this created a year-round resource for parents and caregivers who are looking for out-of-school time learning opportunities for their children. So I want to introduce isYDRC. We are an organization that supports youth development providers, and those organizations provide summer and after-school programs. Together, our network works to strengthen individual and collective impact on youth. And we do that together by focusing on the quality of programs, so that there are programs that young people can find that ignite their passions, help them get connected to caring adults, and help them become lifelong learners. So isYDRC as a network also advocates for more access to these types of quality programs, which brings us to our role on Discover Your Spark. We work with hundreds of programs across the region to list their programs in the program locator, and then to promote the website so that parents can find it and then use the search tool to find a program that fits their child's interests and your schedules. So I'll start to walk you through the website and how it can help you. So if you visit discoveryourspark.org, you'll see a website that today has about 200 programs listed across the Tri-County. They're programs for kids of ages 4 to 18. Right now, we just have many more online programs than we've ever had before because of COVID. And so providers have been working really hard in this uncertain time to figure out how to continue learning for young people. So some of them have developed these really innovative online programs, and many of them are free to families. They want your kids to participate or low cost. There are still some programs that are open in person, and so the program locator can help you identify those programs that are in person if that is what you're looking for your child. Everyone's starting to consider what school and activities will look like in the fall. The site is continuously updated, so we do outreach to those programs and providers to list. If you're on this town hall and you're a provider, you can also go to the website and find information about how to list your program. So it'd be great to get more programs listed. So it's a website that you can check back on throughout the year. Now let me give you a quick view of what one of the pages of the website looks like. So when you navigate, there's a button that says Program Finder, and it takes you to this page. And this page allows you to search for the programs that are right for your child. So you can search by location, by what county it's in, whether the program under type, you can check online if you're looking for online programs. You can search by your child's grade, the zip code, and then the focus of the program. There are STEM, math and science programs, sports, arts, academic enrichment, college and career prep, lots of variety of different types of programs. And then you can also search by cost. So the program finder includes free and low cost options for families, as well as those with scholarships. Providers let us know if they have scholarships available. What's unique about Discover Your Spark is that it is a program finder for local programs. So it helps you find programs like, on the next slide, some of the different programs that I've listed currently are 826 Michigan, which is a program that helps youth with reading and writing. They have a location in Eastern Market, but then in Ann Arbor, but they also are doing online programming right now. Accelerate for Kids provides STEM classes online right now. Many of you know about Alternatives for Girls, wonderful programming for young women. The Boys and Girls Club for Southeastern Michigan is one of the providers that is open for in-person programming currently, but they also offer a virtual clubhouse from 3 to 5 with a variety of activities, dance parties, and all kinds of great things for young people. Center for Success works in Pontiac and Detroit, as well as other locations, and they provide academic support as well as social emotional support for young people, but you can access tutoring and mentoring for young children that are working on their literacy skills in that program. College for Creative Studies is our local university, but they have a community arts partnership outreach program. And right now they're broadcasting live art demonstrations from noon to 2 every day with their teaching artists. And my daughter and I did one of the activities this week. We painted a box and got bubbles out, and you blow bubbles with paint that has paint and dish soap in it, and then it dries on the painting and creates a really cool bubble texture. So you can find fun things to do with your kids through that programming. And then Living Arts also has some great programs, what we call like small groups. So youth can sign up and then be part of a conversation with the other young people about how they're managing right now with COVID and being out of school. And they can also access art journals and all kinds of things. So lots of providers are working really diligently and intentionally to adapt their programming, bring it online. And then some are also working to create that safe in-person option for you as well if you want or need it. So our intention with Discover Your Spark, and why we named it Discover Your Spark after talking to parents, is that these out of school programs really can ignite a new adventure with fun and learning for your young people. And when a lot of us think about our summers, sometimes as children, that's when we gained a new skill or met new friends or really discovered something that was really helped us grow as people, as humans, and created a sense of belonging. You know, if you went to summer camp, you probably felt a sense of belonging and got a lot more connected to yourself and other people. So that is the intention. And then these programs also provide a safe place for kids to be while parents are at work. So again, that Boys and Girls Club or other places that are open right now can provide that type of support to families as well. And we've learned over time with Discover Your Spark, a lot of parents are looking for academic support for their children outside of school. And I know a lot of us are concerned about our kids falling behind right now. So there are a lot of community providers that are looking to provide extra tutoring and mentoring in this school year. So we recommend that you check out the website to find those providers that can give your young people that little extra boost with their learning. We are often asked, what should parents look for in terms of quality? And so we want parents to think about safety, both physical safety and emotional safety. And those apply to in-person or online programs. Right now, providers are spending a lot of extra time preparing for online safety. And so as a parent, you should be asking about that. How are you going to keep my young person safe online? You know, cyberbullying is an issue. So we want to make sure adults that are exposed to online are safe for them. So we encourage parents to ask providers about that when they're signing up their child for a program. In-person safety, you can be asking about their COVID-19 safety policies and procedures and what they have in place. Do those procedures comply with the CDC and the state of Michigan recommendations? Particularly, how are they going to notify you? You know, if they're, how are they going to be in communication with you as a parent about safety issues as they continue to come up? Which gets to supportive. So is the environment supportive for your young person and for you as a family? Finding a great program is about getting connected and feeling supported, more supported as a family. And then skill building. We want families to be thinking about, is this a program that's going to build skills in my young people? Are they going to learn coding or art or theater or build their literacy skills? So is the program intentional about the skills that your young person is going to be learning there? And as I wrap up, just want to say there's some things that we're all doing to keep our communities safe and ourselves safe, and this involves daily habits to stay healthy. So just a reminder, as whether your child's accessing in-person programming or you're staying home, to remember to sanitize your hands when you're in and out of the house. There's a recommendation to consider spraying the bottoms of your shoes when you return home. Don't ingest cleaners, and then wear a mask when you're out of your home, of course. Consider wearing a face shield if you can't breathe through the mask. And then stay home as much as possible, minimize your contact with others, maintain that distance of at least 6 feet. And then if you can, manage to avoid some indoor places for gatherings. The governor is definitely encouraging us to stay in smaller groups if we need to be inside, and wear your masks. And make sure that you have, some cleaning supplies and masks and all those things handy in your household as time goes forward. So we've got some for, the school year as we're all navigating this new normal for all of us. So Discover Your Spark is here as a resource for your family. So go to discoveryourspark.org or go to our Facebook page and our Instagram page at Discover Your Spark. And we're so excited to bring this to you, and hope you feel connected and supported by community. There's so many people that love children and are working to support them in your family right now.
Thank you so much, Sarah. That's all wonderful information. We are now going to go to the Q&A segment here. So if you are watching and have not done so, please put your questions in the Q&A box for us. And one of the questions we have here to start out is, so you mentioned all the programs and everything. Some are available online and some in person, but do you have to sign up ahead of time for the programs, or is there a way you can just drop in depending on your schedule?
Yeah, so most of the programs do require you to sign up or register ahead of time. One of the improvements we made to the site this past year is having a button that you can click to either take you to the website of that organization, to their sign up and registration page, or it connects you to an email of someone. We also list phone numbers when we have them, but we know right now a lot of offices are closed, so there might not be someone answering the phone, but we've provided you with a few different ways to get in touch with that program to sign up. That said, there are, like I said, some that we kind of call streaming programs or live content. And so those you don't need to sign up for ahead of time. I mentioned the College for Creative Studies is one that on Facebook Live every day there, if you follow College for Creative Studies Community Arts Partnership, you'll see their live content from 12 to 2 every day. And then it also pushes out to YouTube. So a lot of these organizations, if you find them on Discover Your Spark, you might want to go check on YouTube to see if that organization has a channel, because they might be loading some content onto YouTube that you can, your family or your young person can access on demand, basically.
And what is the capacity for some of the programs? Like, do they tend to fill up real quick, or is there a wait list if the programs get full? What does that look like?
Yeah, they can fill up. I know it's a lot of work for families to search and find and sign up and all of this, and I feel you as a parent as well. It feels like a second job a lot of times, but some of them do fill up. On the website, it lets you know if there's a registration deadline, and sometimes it'll say rolling enrollment. So that means there's not a deadline. You can continue to reach out and sign up as time goes on. So that's some information that we provide, but we do, encourage parents to get in touch with the providers sooner than later. I know sometimes with the free programs, those can fill up a little bit faster.
And then for the programs, because you talked about a wider age range, are they separated out by age as far as how many participants, or are the same age groups put together in the programs?
Yeah, there's all different kinds of programs with different combinations of ages. And so you can search by grade and look for that. Right now, I've pulled up on the website, Brilliant Detroit partners with Center for Success to offer online tutoring, and that's for K to 3. So that listing in Discover Your Spark says, that's a program that's for kids in grades K to 3. There's another Brilliant Detroit activity that they partner with Sister Friends to have pregnant young women partner with big sisters, basically, and they have activities together. That's for high schoolers who may be pregnant and about to be parenting teens. And so there's a huge variety of different options on the website.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of programs, a lot of variety. And I know we talked about online, a lot of things being offered online, but if the programming is being offered in person, especially looking toward the fall as well, what safety measures are being taken? Yeah,
so 2 of the providers, Boys and Girls Clubs and Downtown Boxing, opened on the about over a month ago, and so they were at the front end of that process of reopening, and isYDRC got a chance to learn a bit from them and share with other providers through some workshops online what they were going through. So they did things like have a station when you get there for temperature checks. And so often right now, parents are not allowed in the indoor space. If you have a child in childcare, you might know that, which is a little scary as a parent that you can't go in and see what's, the environment, but that is to keep spread from happening. But you might see a station where temperatures are checked every day before your child goes in. You want to see staff wearing masks. some sites do want the children wearing masks, others don't. That's not as consistent. But you can definitely talk to the staff about that and what you want to see, because I know people have different opinions about kids wearing masks. And really it comes down to communication. You know, if there is a child or family that attends there that does end up testing positive, how quickly does that organization let you know? You really want to know like how fast the communication is. And if if quarantines are going to happen, those types of things. So to overemphasize communication is really important right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we previously did a town hall on daycare openings where they had a list of questions to ask those providers. And I could assume those might be similar questions you would ask if your child's doing an in-person activity after school in this sense too.
Yeah.
We did have another question as well, as far as what are the materials? So for example, if programming is remote, what activities are materials do the parents have to provide? Is there anything provided by the programs?
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of, a program might be free, but am I going to have all the things I need to participate?
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's one of the other, I would say, innovations. There's a couple silver linings with this COVID period. And one is that we're all innovating and trying to figure out how to adapt and adjust. And one of the values we hold at isYDRC in terms of program quality is hands-on learning. So we really believe very strongly that young people learn best when they're in hands-on learning, and that's a little challenging with the virtual environment right now.
Right.
So what we've seen a lot of providers do is create activity kits that go along with the programming if it's going to be virtual, and they may drop those off on your doorstep, or they may have you come pick them up at a location. But we've seen, and I'm seeing it nationally, this idea of like summer camp in a box. So you might get a week's worth or month's worth of activities in a box, and then your child can use those to create alongside. The College for Creative Studies classes that they're offering, they're trying to make sure those activities are with materials that you might have at home. So cardboard boxes, basic materials like paint and scissors and glue, those kinds of things. Some of the STEM programs require, robotics kits and all those kinds of things. So when you're signing up for a program, make sure you ask, like, are you providing the materials so my child doesn't get frustrated, if they're seeing something that they can't do. I know my daughter always runs around the house to try to find all the materials for the projects that we're finding online. But ask them to support you as a parent in having the materials. But we really encourage kids to have a lot of hands-on learning opportunities right now, or outdoor learning opportunities to counterbalance the screen time.
Definitely. And I know that we've been talking a lot about what the programs specifically offer, what to expect from there, but do you have any guidance about choosing in care versus being home with family, or like an in-person program versus being home with family? Is there any guidance that you all give, or a recommendation that you all have based on that?
We really don't. I'll just say, and I'm going to speak more from my heart as a parent than, from the executive director at isYDRC. This is one of the hardest decisions, we've faced as parents, and I'm sure it is for you all as well. And it's so hard because there isn't a perfect right answer, right? We're all trying to make the choice that we have to make for our families based on our work situation and whatnot. So I know lots of kids are attending daycare around the country right now, and students are attending summer school in person, and we're all watching and waiting and seeing. But I think that's a choice that a lot of us do need to make. And so making sure that those protocols are in place and there's as much safety as there can be. We're hearing from the health department and Detroit Parks and Rec that outdoor programming, is a safe choice. So when that's available, maybe be asking, are there more opportunities for my kids to be outside if they're in a group setting? I think that's a great question to ask. And if you are able to keep kids home and keep them learning and safe, if that's the best environment for them, then there are all these virtual programs and learning opportunities that can help you as a parent continue that engagement and learning at home.
And then are the programs doing anything to assist families who may be struggling due to the current situation?
Yeah, so we definitely, when COVID first started happening, YDRC was looking to see what was everyone doing and trying to make sense of it ourselves. And that was one of the first things we saw was a lot of the providers do a lot more support with families around meals and check-ins. And so some of them, our Detroit Parks and Rec department pivoted and ended up having to stop some in-person programming, but those rec centers became sites for food distribution. Mm-hmm. And so, and then other programs out of their own pockets, out of their own dollars, were delivering food boxes to families that they worked with. So that's definitely something that they're doing. They're also a lot of times calling families and checking in weekly or texting and seeing, do you have the support and resources that you need? 211, so calling 211 is a great, if the program's not able to get you what you need, which sometimes they can't, calling 211 for extra resources is also a really great idea. Excellent resource.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I know a lot of our community partners and a lot of your partners as well have really stepped up in the sense of wrapping their arms around people in our community. And that's great to see in all aspects as well. I was just curious to know, what are some of the most important things you think someone should know when they're either looking for this type of programming or just trying to figure out how to plan for something, you know, getting a schedule together with their kids or something like that?
Yeah, two things. I think putting kids first, right? Like we have all these hopes for kids, but we also just need to watch our kids and talk with them and see what they need and be responsive to their needs. So at the beginning of this, my daughter was totally rejecting Zoom calls with family. I'm thinking I want to keep her connected with her cousins and her grandparents and all that. And she just was not interested. And so we've been doing a lot more off the computer, but then I'll, look at programs or activities and get ideas and then do them with her. So I think really tuning into our own kids and what they need is the very most important thing we can do. And know every child worldwide is experiencing this disruption in their schooling and their learning, and they're all going to go through that together, as a generation. And so I know we're so stressed as parents to meet all their needs and keep them on track, but know that you're not alone. Everyone in the world is going through this, and we're all doing our best. So that's my best advice. And like I said before, there's all these programs and organizations who love kids and serve kids, and they're trying to help as well. So reach out to them, get connected, let them know what you need, and they'll adapt to try to meet your needs as well. It's really a two-way street.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today, not only to give your perspective as executive director, but also as a parent as well. We really appreciate you being able to share this valuable information. As a reminder, for those of you who may be experiencing a need, our 211 helpline remains available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We maintain a running list of available services in the community and can connect you to the supports you need. From food pantries to diapers to utility assistance, our team can help find resources for you. You can also look up resources in your area by using our 211 resource database at unitedwaysem.org/211. On the search page, you can enter the resource you are looking for, and it will provide a list of available supports. Today's town hall is just one installment of a series of town halls we are providing to connect you with information and resources you need. To see our previous town halls with topics including unemployment insurance, childcare, mental health, supports for older adults, and more, please visit unitedwaysem.org/virtual town halls. The website is also included in the chat box. As a result of this pandemic, we know that families and individuals throughout our region are struggling to make ends meet. That's why we are asking Congress to provide supports for families in their next COVID-19 relief package. Please join us by visiting standwithunitedway.org. And finally, don't forget to vote on August 4th or visit your clerk's office by Monday, August 3rd to vote ahead of time by absentee ballot. Thank you everyone for joining us and for your questions, and please stay safe.